real talk, just rap pack. Besides that, nobody I trust.
Back again like I never left. Young Sinatra, that's to the death. We turned up till we go deaf.
So, today's video is for those people who have recently subscribed, as not everyone will know what my sort of car collection is at the moment and what sort of is going on my channel. So I thought I'd do a quick walk round of all the cars. I'm calling it a car check. I'm doing a quick car check of why we've got the car, when we got the car, and sort of the plans for the car itself, and sort of, yeah, just a bit more about the channel, about the cars. Yeah, let's go. So we're gonna do them in age order and when I bought them. So yeah, we're gonna do them in order. So I bought the Seat first. I had a Mark 5 Golf beforehand, GT TDI 140 remapped, and this was actually my dad's car, and it was silver. It was completely standard aesthetically, but the engine and everything obviously was fully tuned to what it was, which is the 313 brake horsepower and the 530 Newton meters of torque. The car, since I've obviously had it, has had everything done: the wrap, the splitter, the headlights, the spoiler, the wheels, the wind deflectors, just anything you can think of, I did to the car. I bought the car only because I actually wanted a white Audi A3 at the time, but I couldn't find the one I liked. And then Dad said he was thinking about selling his car, and he gave it to me for a good price. So that is why I bought the Seat. I always said after my first car, which was silver, I wanted a white car, and then I got the grey Golf, which I did enjoy, and I loved the colour of it. But I always said I wanted a white car next, and I was always looking at a 3-door Audi A3, either the S3 or the 2-litre TDI 170. And then I bought a silver Seat and wrapped it green. So I didn't really stick to that, but it was too much of a good deal. I couldn't decline it. And it meant that the Seat stayed in the family. It's a lovely car. It's been unbelievably reliable, so I can't complain at all. And then I bought a Focus, which still isn't white. But yeah, we'll get onto that in a second. But yeah, so that is my Seat Leon. That's why I've got it. And that is the sort of history behind it. One of the best memories I think I have of the car is when I went to the Nürburgring with my whole family, well, my whole dad's side of the family in it. And we went to the Nürburgring, stayed there for a long weekend. And the car, I would say it was faultless, but it had a little battery hiccup, which meant all the lights started flashing and it was having a little weird moment. But it was okay, it was fine. But yeah, absolutely amazing. It was amazing to get to the track. Very reliable, lovely sounding car. I mean, I love the look of it. It's just so much history in that car. Just a good car. Coming to the second car we bought, which is the Audi, which is our daily, which is the family wagon. So we bought this car at the time. Jade originally had a Peugeot, so we immediately sold that as soon as I met her. We then got Jade a 1.9 TDI Stylance Seat Leon, which was very good, very reliable. However, it had a couple of issues with its handbrake and other things like that. And Jade wanted an upgrade. She's always wanted an Audi, so here it is. We got an Audi A4. When we bought it, it said it had an oil leak fixed and it had no issues, blah, blah, blah. The suspension, when we very first bought it, was absolutely collapsed. And I noticed there's a hole where we think it's been cut out the bumper for the towing eye. So we think before we bought it, it was like an older couple who had it, because it had standard wheels. It was completely standard when we bought it, and had used it to go caravanning. And the suspension was all collapsed. So we fixed the suspension. But what we noticed also is it came with a brand new turbo. The turbo had been done at some point. The clutch has obviously been done at some point because that is very good. But the only issue it did have, after I think a couple of months of driving it, I was going up a hill and I wasn't going fast, but like I was accelerating up a hill. That's what I was saying. I was accelerating up a hill in 5th gear, going into 6th at like 50, 60. And suddenly there was just a big, like, not a bang, but it was just something split in the engine bay, and suddenly there was just coolant everywhere and it completely drained all its coolant. One of the brackets, or one of the sort of things at the back of the engine, cracked and just leaked all the coolant in the car everywhere, and we completely lost coolant, so we had to get that fixed, take it to the garage. But other than that, the car has been absolutely faultless. It's had nothing needed for it. It's been absolutely lovely. The reason, like I said, we bought the car was for Maya. Bless her, there she is, just walking around, minding her own business. But yeah, we got it for the dog, for the family that we would like to have someday. But yeah, and it's been absolutely faultless. It's been amazing, this car. So obviously, since having the car, what we've done is we've put V-Man, I think it's V-Man FS12s. I'll put what they are on the screen. Wheels, which are 19 by 8.5 and then 19 by 9.5. wheels. We painted the grills black because they were like a weird faded plastic. We also added 2 yellow stripes because Jade thought it would look lovely. We also put 4D plates on it. We have added a Maya to it. Hello, darling. Silly. We also added wind deflectors because we just thought, you know, wind deflectors are lovely. 4D plates obviously at the back. We debadged it because the Audi A4 and the 2 litre TDI badges just didn't look very nice. And yeah, and then we basically kept it pretty standard. What you won't see there is I absolutely fell over Maya and she almost maybe stack it. But we tried to keep it as standard really as possible, just because it is a daily. It is going to go all over the place, you know. If we ever went camping or we ever go, you know, abroad, it needs to just work. So we don't want it stupidly low. Although at the moment it does have stretch tyres, but we do plan on changing them. But yeah, so the Audi has just been the good old daily reliable car that we've had for 2 years now, because we bought it a couple of years ago. I didn't mention the Seat. I bought that 5 years ago or 4 years ago now. I think I bought it in 2018 or maybe end of 2019, and it's now 2021. So 2018, the end of 2018. And then coming to the last and most recent purchase, which is my project car for the channel, my Mk1 Focus ST170. This car, I purely bought it for the channel as I wanted a new car, because the other cars are pretty much completed other than the Audi now. Jade wants to start modifying it again. But yeah, because the Seat Leon is so modified, I wanted a blank canvas I could start on. And I also wanted something a bit different, something that I could really go to town on and modify and learn just everything about it. So yeah, introduce Mk1 ST170. This is my Project WRC car, so I will be putting a World Rally Championship body kit on it. So it's going to be wide arch, massive wing, different wheels, lowered, just anything you can imagine. Colour change, I'm going to wrap it so it's going a different colour. So yeah, the history of this car is just that I wanted a blank canvas for a project car, and this is what I picked. I initially did pick a Mark 6 Fiesta ST, but I just couldn't find one I liked. They're either high mileage or too expensive, like overpriced, or just tatty. There was no Fiestas I could find that fit exactly what I wanted until this 60,000 mile, low mileage, obviously, ST170 come up for sale, and I just knew this had to be the car for me. So that is basically a quick rundown of all the cars. The ST is the most recent car, which will be obviously featured quite a lot on the channel now. The Leon is definitely not finished. I've still got quite a few things for that. And then the Audi might suddenly make a reappearance, as there's suddenly a lot more modifications that Jade's starting to think that she wants to do. So that will suddenly start coming back on the channel a lot more. There's also some brake tests I want to do. There's quite a lot of videos I've got planned for all of these cars, but I thought I'd just do a car check and a quick sort of walk around, sort of best memories of the cars, as you know, we're sort of coming into 2020. Obviously we're heavily into 2021. We've just had quite a few new subscribers come to the channel, so I thought anyone who might have missed some of my old videos about the Seat, I'll give a quick rundown of all the cars just for everyone, catch them up to speed, and then we can sort of continue with the projects and go on from here. Best memory in the Audi so far is when we took it for Jade's birthday. We went to a place in Cornwall called Bude, and we went for a nice birthday chalet excursion. And yeah, the car was very reliable, very lovely driving around those areas, and it was just so comfy. Like, the thing that Audi does is travel in comfort. As Jade fights Maya in the car, it just travels in comfort, reliable, lovely to drive, soft suspension. It just cruises everywhere so well. So yeah, so far this car just gives me joy. Like, it's just a right laugh to drive. It's just fun, it's different, it's a bit raughty with the exhaust. Like, it's just a right laugh. Yeah, this car just fun so far. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.